Hi, welcome to our new webinar on iPaaS. iPaaS, as the name suggests, it is an integration platform as a service. In this session, we will cover some of the most important features that are required in an iPaaS solution. We are going to compare and discuss some of the important traits of an iPaaS platform, and then we will have a detailed demonstration on an iPaaS platform, which we have developed. The session is called Out of the Box Feature of an iPaaS Solution. I'm Abhishek Shur, VP of Product in InSync Texting Solutions. We at InSync is building the next generation iPaaS platform, which offers tools and services through web interface to leverage integration between two or more applications, data source, or even data migration. The product is called APPSeCONNECT, and as the name suggests, the application is primarily focused on how easily the business applications like SAP, NAV, Magento, Salesforce, Amazon, HubSpot, etc. are getting connected, and how the platform gives its user capabilities to handle integration at the core. As a VP, my primary focus is to innovate on the product to improve and engage the integration ecosystem. On the other hand, because of my community engagement with developers around the globe, I have been awarded as my Microsoft MVP and software innovator at Intel. I'm also starting a new community called APPSeConnect community around iPaaS domain. So if anyone wants to join, you can ping me over my social media handles. Now, before we start on anything, one of the primary questions that comes in your mind is what is an iPaaS? If you are not already aware of it, iPaaS is a software component that is offered to the users on a platform as a service. If we define the type of cloud service, there are mainly three types of services. One is SaaS, which refers to software component which solves a specific problem. IaaS, or infrastructure as a service, which refers to the operating system, networks, or other core components. And PaaS, which is the sweet spot in between them. A platform gives you an option to develop something in the platform, also abstracting the inner layers like network, operating systems, etc. The iPaaS is a platform which allows developers to develop connectors to enable data flow between them. The iPaaS focus specifically on the integration side of the platform, where the tools and interfaces are provided, which allows easier implementation of a connector. The platform provides drag and drop canvas where people can open and integrate data between applications. We can call it a canvas where we integrate internet of applications. Just like platforms, the iPaaS also takes the responsibility to give us tooling to handle errors or even possible errors. There are features which can individually identify integration issues and gives you a suggestion to improve the integration, or some reporting tool which can give you some enhanced reports on the problems on service deployment. And integration is a continuous process, and it is very hard to determine the problem it has faced. To help the developers, many of the iPaaS vendors also provide advanced reporting capabilities that gives a brief about the performance of the tool. Knowledge of an API is key to build a successful integration platform. Integration. Unlike custom and integration, the learning curve, learning and integration is very less in the integration platform. It is just because of the prepackaged adapter built on top of the platform, which supports standard protocols. For instance, if you are looking for developing a connector connecting to a custom database, you can quite easily do so with existing skill set. Or even if you are looking for an integration with a REST API, FTP, file system, or anything which is standard in the market, you can easily do so without requiring you to develop adapters from scratch. Now, why do we need iPaaS tools? With the proliferation of modern day APIs, no one application can totally suffice any business requirement. As competition is growing, businesses are also growing by leaps and bounds. To keep pace with the competition, businesses try to maximize profit by using best of breed applications. Integration between these applications are one of the primary reasons to be more informed about the business needs at correct time. Time is critical for business, and data flowing from one application to another at the correct time is of utmost importance. iPaaS bridges the gap on updating the data between applications. It gives easy way to develop enterprise grade integrations where changing and updating data at correct time and correct data is easy to handle. Just like platforms, adding and removing applications from an integration platform or iPaaS does not affect other applications, and hence it easily change application and you can easily remove or restore applications on the fly while in production. It removes human effort on integration flow development and also remove the possibility of downtime because of some compromised application. The iPaaS also easily identifies issues in the sync operation and enables employees to stick on the business rather than focusing too much on the data flow techniques. So if we want to consider what are the major characteristics of an iPaaS solution, we may say it provides advanced reporting system to build something which shows the dashboard of all the synchronizations happening in the cloud. It provides easy way to govern and manage individual connectors to the applications with the platform. It also thereby helps in easily identify a problem on API changes or credential modifications or even the security updates, etc. And you can see all of them in notification area. It obviously allows you to connect disparate applications or systems. It should also give you an option to host either in full cloud or in on-premise, such that the enterprises have an option to host an integration inside their own home network. This option is important because sometimes enterprises do not want to expose the data to outside their home network for data security concerns. If you think of an iPaaS tool, every vendor is different. So some provide a set of features while some provide a different set of features. Some platforms require heavy developers effort to develop a connector, while some other require just drag and drop to develop a connector. But most of the platform provide one or another feature. For instance, some iPaaS vendors, or I would rather say most of the vendors are now supporting workflow designers. The designer allows drag and drop facility to connect to APIs, which lets developer to create and integrate on the fly on the visual interface, either in web or in on-premise tool. The same can be hosted to a hosting agent and execute it. The data import export facility, which lets the developers create and maintain files outside the environment, such that data could be exported from the tool and later it can be imported back again, are some of the advanced features. The data could be different in different format based on the features supported by the tool. Some platforms provide APIs to interact with it rather than using the predefined application user interface. APIs can come very handy and helps to open infinite possibilities around the service, such that one can develop their own custom tool to handle a specific scenario or even get reports outside the platform. Other than that, auditing of an integration challenges, user profile management, etc., are some of the advanced features. As far reporting is concerned, real-time analytics is also an important feature that needs to be considered. Why API? Gartner suggests integration to be API first. That means any application which has a predefined API or an application which does not have it, the API should be the first priority to consume. When API is not available and even the application does not have the capability to build one, then only other data source connectors could be taken in consideration. iPaaS platform provides standard protocol-based adapters like REST, SOAP, FTP, etc., which can easily consume data from an existing set of APIs provided by the application. The iPaaS tool will get data from these applications to communicate to different other set of applications configured to it. Even though many iPaaS platforms provides other means of communication like connecting the data source or connecting to the different server, if an API is available for an application, we must use it. Transformation is the core of any integration platform. Transformation means how the data is getting transformed from one API to another. Most of the iPaaS vendors work strongly to define an easier way to transform data from one language to or one format to another. The data mapping allows to push data coming from one application to something which is understandable by the other application. While transformation, sometimes some minor changes in data is needed, the logic or script of is built through the transformation section will allow to hook custom functions or other language features which uh, is easier to change the data. Data mapping allows to create flow of information while the logic is inside the function and other data transformation logics. As you know, API is the core of any integration platform. Parallel versioning of API or support of using more than one version of API is also very important. Applications that provide parallel API versions and allow to manage different integration of the same application in parallel version add benefit to the businesses it catered to. For example, let us consider application 1 change the API to version 2 while they provide support for version 1 for the next 2 months, let's say. If parallel versions are supported inside the iPaaS platform, one can easily develop integration with the newer version, test it, and then finally deploy it. Automation of version 1 to version 2 and also notification of new API version is also important feature of an iPaaS platform. For instance, some iPaaS platform provides detailed notification on the workflows, which will be compromised due to an API update on the application side. While there are some other iPaaS vendors which rely on the integration provider itself to identify and update an API changes and gives only the notification of the application integration failures. Another and perhaps the most important feature to consider is how security is handled inside the application. iPaaS deals with a lot of sensitive data. Because of evolving cyber exploits, security has become one of the critical factors of any business today, especially the processes of integration organizational data like personal information, customer record, and passwords is some of the susceptible to misuse and data breach. To avoid this, the iPaaS software comes with a robust security mechanism like password protection, data encryption, security certification, access control, session management, information security standards, and many more. iPaaS vendors are doing various certifications to ensure data security is maintained. There are restrictions of certification based on region of business too. For instance, GDPR is mandatory for European business, while general CCC or China compulsory certification is needed to do business in China region. Another thing that one need to consider is the connectivity. The ever-enhancing list of connector is one of the boundless feature of iPaaS platform. Connectors allows triggering integration workflows and receiving data from and pushing data to several diverse applications on-premise or cloud or through various protocols. With this software, a user can easily integrate disparate systems regardless of where they are. For example, a user who works in Excel can continue working with Excel without changing their tool. Since the app interact behind the system seamlessly, it allows cloning and sharing integration for improved collaboration and faster development. Standard SDK support allows to develop connect to a completely different type of connector, or even standard prepackaged protocol based connectors allows to connect third-party applications supporting standard protocols. Even though the connectivity is completely created from scratch, the platform ensures all the features provided by the platform works perfectly with even code developed by the third-party vendor. The standard tooling and capabilities or features supported by the platform are also supported by the newly developed connectors from scratch. Integration tools are complex in nature and involve a lot of integration logic to be executed for one single sync operation. Finding errors or integration problems are sometimes very cumbersome. iPaaS tools which supports failed data automatic fixer or failure retry option provide an additional benefit to the businesses. Notifications on daily failure or built-in monitoring capabilities within the application is important for smooth running of the application. Some of the best integration platform allows integration developer to create rules over data created within the platform. They can customize the flow of data within the integration platform that keeps on checking the platform data and when necessary. The open-ended rules have the same notification and monitoring requirement. Some platforms also support daily email, which is triggered automatically at a specific time of day. This is an important feature as it gives you a summary of all the different data failures and success that happened during the day before. Designer is important for every iPaaS platform. Most of the platform considers Designer to be a primary development canvas. Some support Designer after installing a heavy software on the machine, while some platform gives sleek Designer through web interfaces. The designer allows us to define a data flow between two or more applications directly within the canvas. The data coming from one application can be transformed to a different format, splitted into multiple messages, and then transformed in a loop. The designer canvas gives the developer a way to develop an integration just by giving all the programming capabilities like loops, decisions, delays, etc. Advanced workflow designer can also help the developer to debug the data flows by either using mock data or actual execution. Snapshots of an execution can also be downloaded to visualize which are the applications involved in the data flow. Routing feature routes data from one app to another in accordance with the configuration. Additionally, the iPaaS software includes a robust orchestration engine which is capable to handle complex workflows. It orchestrates integration solutions and defines how and what data can go through configuration. These platform offers the workflow visual designers to create, build, and handle integration workflows. Generally, the workflows are serverless. Therefore, it is enough to concentrate on the business value and functionality as the other scaling and infrastructure are fully abstracted. Some iPaaS solutions also include low-code orchestration that enhances the speed and comfort of the designing business logic. Application orchestration offers a method to integrate which decouples apps from each other, a way to handle and monitor integration centrally, ability to secure message routing, reliability, and transformation. Even though most of the iPaaS vendors does provide prepackaged solution, yet it can only cater 99% of the present day problems. There is still an element of features which are never thought of or actually never executed before. The platforms which are capable of providing SDKs are capable of even catering solutions to these 1% of the problems too. The integration platform that supports software development toolkit can develop the whole connector in a very low code or advanced implementation to cater very complex scenarios. You as a user never know when these kind of problems appear, so it is important to identify a platform that supports an SDK. For enterprises, most of the SDKs are used, and for most of the SMEs, the prepackaged solutions are suggested. The iPaaS solution includes an option to increase visibility that allows access to real-time data exchanges, which enables to stay ahead of the data integration ecosystem. Similarly, it allows creating custom reports effortlessly. Therefore, a business can generate operational dashboards with role-based prospects for the business, technical, and executive users. This visibility provides user with the ability to make better decisions and to detect and remove the information obstacle that obstruct an integration. Dashboards provide option for better error handling, conflict management, forecasting, or even can monitor data transfer rates reporting within the application. AI or artificial intelligence is another important feature to consider. AI gives additional intelligence within the application that helps identify the integration problems. Categorization of errors based on the severity and even helping to find out the solution of a problem is an added advantage to an integration platform. Machine learning is a technique of determining a special intelligence in data present in the application. As an iPaaS platform deals with huge amount of data regularly, choosing a platform that provides AI at its core can help a lot while in maintenance period. Many iPaaS vendors provide advanced AI engines where you can flow the data to get insights about the business. Businesses can take help of technology to take serious business decisions. Now, let us show you an iPaaS platform to understand how the iPaaS data is maintained inside the application. In our case, we will show our product. I will show you different sections involved in the platform, which will help you to do the actual integrations. So let's jump back to the application. So this is the application where we show the dashboards. So this is the dashboard where you can see different sections where if some data is available, it will show up. Now, if I go to the app section, you will see all the prepackaged app. There are a number of options. You can either choose a prepackaged solution from a list of apps that are available. So this is endless. There are a lot of other apps based on the subscription. It filters out all the apps that are supported by or you. So let's say I have added this priority ERP and I can open up the schema section. So if I open schema section, I can see all the tables that are connecting to a particular API. For instance, these orders is an API which has a specific schema. So we define the schema inside here. So the JSON or XML structure which is provided, you can define everything inside this section, the schema section. And even we have an option to actually uh, import a schema from an API endpoint. Now, going further, uh, in the app section, there are different other options too, like you can upload adapters. I can even write functions. So there is a function section. So if I go there, these are all library functions, and I can create a complex function which I've just told you during the session. So I can create a function from here. I can use all the logical operators. I can use all the code snippets and create a function and then deploy it into the integration solution that I'm creating. In the workflow, this is the designer of our application. So if I go to a workflow, I'll be able to see all the different elements that are there. So I have created different scopes which will allow me to get some data from this from the SAP SL, and then SAP SL means the SAP service layer. You will get some data, and then it will these data is from inventory count item, and then it will process the data. So if I show you the mapping section, so you can see all the schema that I have imported. So it shows up here. So I can actually create then entire mapping through this. So I can open it and I can see the source schema section, and this is the source tree, and this is the destination tree. Through this, after I create a mapping, I can directly execute this workflow. There are a few elements which you can consider like gate, process, and there are some advanced elements like splitter, mergers, filters, decisions, routers, etc. So you can make use of them to actually orchestrate the data going from one application to another. So you can design the entire workflow inside this workflow section, and you can schedule or execute this workflow at a particular interval of time. And then after you execute, you can see the snapshot, which will give you the entire insights about the workflow that is being executed right now. And not even this, you can also choose from existing set of workflows. So we provide a lot of prepackaged workflow which are time tested and which are complex, and you can make use of them to add it directly onto your platform rather than doing it from scratch. There are some other features like feeds, which allows the user to see what are the things that he did or she did on the platform. So the complete auditing feature is there. There are rules, so you can choose rule or create rule based on your preference. and create a notification engine inside the platform. And there is manage environment section which allows you to manage environment and deploy workflow inside the environment and finally execute. And user management is also there. Those are now I'm not going any further to execute a workflow. So you have, I think you have got an idea how an integration platform looks like. So I encourage to actually go through the platform. If you want, you can go to the appseconnect.com and use the platform a little bit. You can try the platform. And as I've told you that I have also been creating a new community site. So you can go to community.appseconnect.com and you can register here to get help about the platform or any iPaaS questions. So there is a forum section you can go to and ask questions about the forums. Okay, so any questions that you have, you can write it on our Q&A panel. So I would happy to help you. If you have any question, please let me know. Okay, the first question is, does iPaaS solutions always provide a designer out of the box? So I would say no, because there are iPaaS solutions which does not provide a designer. There are some iPaaS platform which gives you just an option to fill up a form, and there you can just fill up a form to integrate between one or more applications. So designer is not available for every iPaaS platform. But most of the big iPad platforms, I would say, would have a designer inside it, and which helps you to orchestrate the data flow between one application to another. The next question is, what are the protocols that are supported as standard? So the protocols for every app, or rather an API, you will find a number of protocols that are being supported. um, the iPaaS platform will offer you all or the most of the standard protocols like EDI FACT, SOAP, REST. There is FTP, there is OLEDB database, or any other ODBC databases. So all these protocols are totally supported inside the most of the iPaaS platform. But if you see something is not supported, most of the iPaaS platform, uh, or most of the regular iPaaS platform, I would say, because there are a lot of iPaaS platforms which are not actually a platform, but they claim it is a platform. So if you see the regular iPaaS platform, you might see there is an SDK which allows you to build a connect between your application and the platform, and you can make use of all the existing features inside the platform by connecting your app to the application. That is only if the standard protocols are not supported by your application. If standard protocols are supported, you don't have to write anything from scratch. You can make use of the standard protocol prepackaged adapters inside the platform and get help and get your app connected regularly. Now, another question that I just saw from here, does your platform, that is AppSeConnect, supports AI? I would say yes. The platform has an AI on its core, so any data that is getting transferred between the application will automatically categorized in based on the severity of the data, and it can give you insights about the data that is getting transferred. One thing I must say that the AI engine is built on top of the integrator. I mean the agent that integrates the data between one or two applications. So the data is not actually sent back to our server. Only the errors that are happening inside the application are getting sent back to the server. So no transaction data sent to the server. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't have any more questions. Actually, I don't have time to handle all these questions. So, thank you for joining the session. I hope it helped you a lot in understanding our platform, or understanding what are the kind of features that you can get while you start using an iPaaS platform. So thank you. If you have any question, I would just wait for 2 more minutes. So if you have any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, I'll end the session. Thank you all for participating in the session. So if you have any integration queries, you can reach us at sales@appseconnect.com, or you can go to the community site called community.appseconnect.com to post a regular question. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.